بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه أجمعين. So we'll get right into it. We are checking on the progress of our project. So let me share my screen real quick.
And then if I could jump in when you're sharing your screen, I assume the project.
Sure.
I watched the video from last week, so jazakallah khair for the recommendations on the issues and kind of merging some of them together and making subtasks in there. So just wanted to let you know that when you go into there, you'll see that it looks a little different.
Okay, so if you go to project Bunyaan. Okay, so we have
So if you scroll to the right, you'll see the ones that are in progress, and then
okay, right here, yeah.
the main three.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was okay.
So yeah,
okay, so
done's should be done, and the in progress are the ones that are currently still being worked.
okay, so you said you've added subtasks to them.
Right. So if you go to like the first one, complete the backend functionality.
Yeah, if I click on it. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, this is good. So no, this is very good. Jazakallah khair. And this is let's see what we have here. Complete blockchain functionality as is for version 1. Incorporate broadcast of incorporate function to pay towards down payment. Incorporate function to distribute down payment. Incorporate function to detect the loan. So this is good. There is only one very good, but there's only, I think there are two more that we could add. Which I already finished one of them. I think I finished one of the most high priority ones that it's not on this list. Making sure that the get balance, getting the balance of the wallet works, and making sure that real wallet addresses are chosen. I'm not sure if you watched the demo I sent yesterday, but in there I show how the balance changes when someone receives money or when someone sends money. Actually, I can show you right now. Maybe we could quickly watch that so you have a better idea.
Yeah, I take it the audio doesn't come through, so you can just speak
the
to
audio
it.
doesn't come through. Okay. Okay, so if the audio doesn't come through, okay, I would suggest that everyone watches this because it shows how you create a transaction, and then what happens is when you make the transaction, the wallet address, the amount decreases or increases. And actually, let me just, I think it's still running. Yes, so I'm not going to do the whole demo because it's the same thing as in the other one. I don't want to waste this call's time. But basically, what I added was real public addresses. Remember before we just put anything as the address, but now I've put real, you get a list of real public addresses, and then you can send them money. And when you send them money, the balance on the wallet increases or decreases depending if you're looking at your own wallet, it's decreasing or it decreases. If you look at the other person's wallet, it has increased, for example, in this case. So you could if you could just watch that video, inshallah, that will clarify things. So that's the portion of the task that was assigned to me that I worked on, and I alhamdulillah, I've submitted a pull request, and I'm waiting on brother Umair to review. So brother Umair, if you get it, once you get a chance, if you could review that.
Actually, I was just doing that in parallel.
Oh, okay, cool. That sounds good. Okay, so that's the update on my side. I know, Brother Ahmad, the update on your side was that you changed the tasks to to have subtasks, right? So which is
Yeah. So that one, I didn't know what kind of subtasks would go onto that, but at least for this
yeah,
one, I try to break it down to more discrete.
y- yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. I think we for these subtasks we can have different deadlines. I'm not sure if
Right.
we are able to add deadlines for per subtask or not, but if if that's possible, it would be great. Um, uh, cool. I think what's left, at least on this side, is I found out a way to fix the race condition that I was telling you guys about. So right now, the way we broadcast blocks, or the way the consensus mechanism works, is that whenever a node adds a new block to the blockchain, they basically the whole chain is broadcasted, and the nodes are they're supposed, what they do is they verify the integrity of the whole chain instead of just uh, that block, that one block that's being added. So I'm thinking maybe I should just change that logic, make it, it's going to be a bit more complicated, but I think that's going to fix the race condition that I was telling you guys about. So that's what I'm going to be working on. And also, there are a few other things that I'll be working on within the next 2 weeks, inshallah.
Okay, cool.
Um, yes, Brother Ahmed, do you have anything else to add?
No, no, just seconding the, or not seconding, adding to the point you made about how there are those more discrete steps within an issue, or task that can be worked on. But I'd look to you guys for um, updates or a realistic time frame you need to accomplish some of those, so some of those
Mm,
items. I don't know if you can assign specific milestones to those discrete steps within a single issue, but we can at least
yeah.
put dates at the end of each of those,
Mm,
um,
yeah.
and just
I,
update as needed.
yeah, I think it's a good idea for each person that's assigned to that task, for them to send you the timelines that they think are realistic.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is I'll do it for these tasks, and we can
Okay.
add, like I said, those two other tasks that I completed recently.
Okay.
And then for this one, we're gonna wait for Brother Abdul Wahid to basically tell us what the
Yeah.
subtasks, and then we'll ask him to give us the deadlines as well, the milestones, and and but for this one, I believe this is this is assigned to Brother Umair, if I'm not
Yep.
mistaken.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
this.
So with this, yeah.
So to be honest, like I haven't made a ton of progress since last time. And apologize, no excuses, but like yeah, I'll just say that I haven't made a ton of progress. What I'll do is today I'll take into consideration everything that's going on and give realistic timelines, inshallah, to the like I'd even like break it down. Like so I have a list of things that need to be put in the UI. I would put like a timeline to each
Mhm.
and just share that with Brother Ahmed, and maybe we can just like even go that subtask level. I can say like this is the timeline you need to get those in by. I think that will
Okay.
give like a lot more clarity in what the UI is just in general, also to like by having named items, and then
Hmm.
also if it's like more granular, then I'll be able to accomplish some stuff as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do want to make a quick comment here that I feel like I believe we are doing two separate things at the same time. What I mean by that is, on one side we are trying to just get the proof of concept out of the out of the way, so we can present you know to different people, like basically the basic idea of it. And all on the other side, on the other hand, we're working on the design of the actual you know app that basically which will be released, that will people will actually use. So basically, the proof of concept is a bit separate, even though there's a there's there are intersections, meaning like there are places where they merge, but overall, like these are two separate tasks that we're tackling, right? So as far as this goes, the designs for the web mobile app, these are these are not uh, uh, they basically, if you guys remember, we set a deadline for the proof of concept of the end of January. So
Mhm.
because this is not specific to the proof of concept, this is just for the actual app. That deadline doesn't apply to the designs for the web and mobile front end. Would you guys agree with that assessment?
I'd agree, but I guess maybe I'd ask for a bit more um, clarification. Where
Okay.
I mean, I guess I'll think of the proof of concept as like a beta, and I don't know if I'm using that right, but like a beta version of this um, software. So I didn't know maybe if you intended to use the front end as is that we were showing in the demo and that's current in the repo, while Brother Ahmed works on more of the production version of the UI.
Yes, that's kind of what I meant.
Okay.
And also, so like my understanding of what we were doing with the proof of concept was, uh, we just want to show a working solution, and whether, because there may have been some design decisions or some architectural decisions that we made for the proof of concept that may not be necessarily scalable. Right, for the proof of concept, we're just running like 3 4 nodes, and but for, in a real network it's going to be thousands of nodes, right? So we may have to make some like foundational changes. For example, the type of programming language that we've used or we use for the actually the scalable blockchain that we're going to use, or some of the other decisions as far as like the consensus mechanism and things like that. um, but the proof of concept is just the simplest version of a blockchain that supports smart contracts, which are basically musharak and smart contracts, without thinking about scalability um, and like some of the other long-term things that we should be thinking of. I know this may not be necessarily the best approach, but because this is something so new, I think even for us, I think having a proof of concept will embolden us, empower us as well, right? And to spend a lot of time making these like detailed architectural decisions that like scalability, like and replication, and like all these things that you take into consideration, and like in a system. If we start getting into the details of that, I think we'll not be able to produce a proof of concept as fast as we want.
Yeah.
Then we'll be like concentrating on these like aspects of the blockchain that are are needed, but not in the short term. Uh,
Okay.
yes, so that's the approach that we've taken, and I mean, obviously, if you guys think that's at this point, I feel like we've gone too far into the proof of concept to reverse and reassess everything that we have done. But I think we haven't made a terribly we haven't made a mistake by going this route. Um, having a proof of concept, I think, is very helpful. Having it out, having one as soon as possible, I think, is very helpful.
Yeah,
Um,
I'd agree with that. It's like you're saying, you want to make progress, but you have to work on near term and long term items. So yeah, no, I feel like what you already have, what's already created as far as a front end goes, it it's a nav bar. It shows you the blocks. It shows the
yeah,
transactions. I feel like that suffices. So.
yeah, yeah, exactly. But just to make sure, brother Ahmed, this doesn't mean that you can't, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah, we're
No,
done.
absolutely not, brother. And actually, from my perspective, what I was thinking is to add to what you said. Although, like, this will be proof of concept, but as much as uh possible of the UI that I'll be able to
That
put together, if you can
yeah,
apply it on the proof of concept, just to because UI is really the main thing that the users eventually are going to care about. Even those the ones that we present to. Here's the POC, right? They might not be like the people who really understand the technology or honestly even care about it. What they care about is
yeah,
what's the application and what it appears like. So maybe
yeah,
like even and again, like I'm not going to be able to uh because again, I'm not a Figma expert, so I'm not going to be able to make it really really pretty. But what I'm going to try to focus on is have a good UX, like where things need to be
yeah,
and what kind of information need to be surfaced to the user and to explain what the POC is or what the product is. So
yeah.
what I'm trying to say is yes, I'm not just gonna go to sleep till till July of next year. I'm gonna try to put those elements there, and as much of as those we can incorporate it by January or the deadline for the POC would be good.
Okay, sounds good. I think that sounds like a plan. So brother Hamid, I know. Um, so before we move to brother Hamid, brother Omar, did you have anything else to add?
No, brother. At this point, I have again like I'm new to Figma. I'm trying to put
Mhm.
together like a bare bones of the different frames and different things that to be there. I have a list of things that I want to put down. Um, this UI, like maybe I could just like talk about the things that I've thought of so far, and I think some things you guys can feel free. So there will be like will have info for, and I was again thinking a little bit from the proof of concept, but maybe the final won't be this. So the available homes that are there or available projects, like people who have put their requests, so you can
Mhm.
participate. And then there would be about Bunyan, and then that would have like a menu for information about Bunyan, how Musharika works, how to run a node if you want to participate, and also
Mhm.
like what would be the participation reward. Again, like some of those things would be trimmed out because they're not concept. Like we haven't talked about that or won't be in the proof of concept. But yeah, and then same thing. And in the nav bar would be an option to create loan request, and there's a whole information needs to be put in. On the extreme right, there would be like login, and if you're already logged in and your avatar. If you're not logged in, then obviously also the option to sign up. Login, sign up would kind of have just username, password. And this I had a question, but I think last meeting, Brother Sohail, you answered it. We're not going to be using the existing Web3 tools that are there to connect to. We're just going to keep it like username, password. uh,
Mhm.
Still some open questions like how we would like how the wallet would work, right? Basically,
Yeah,
when you get the rewards, they would be on blockchain. They're not like on a conventional like your bank or something. So
yeah.
how those generally like Web3 applications, there's an entry point with your private key, right?
Mhm.
So that's why I was thinking maybe not require a username password and just the private key, and some auth around that. But again, maybe not relevant for the POC anyways. And
Yeah.
then
Can I jump in here regarding the wallet and how Web3 does it? I think that's one of the things I was thinking about. So right now, the way we have it is our server that which has all the API endpoints. That's the so basically we're creating the private keys and the private public key pair in the server, and we're sending the public key to the user in the front end, and we're keeping a copy of their private key in the server. Like this is not the blockchain. It's not being stored in the blockchain. It's being stored in the server that that has all the API endpoints. So that's the solution I have right now. But one of the things I meant to research was how do these big blockchains, how do they keep track of the private and public keyword? Like where do they keep track? Do they have a separate server which is specifically used for private public key generation, and that's how the users obtain a wallet address, or is it a part of the same server that the apps are calling to make to add transactions and things like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think if you
So,
can find the answer to that, it would be great.
so actually, I think I'll give another call out here. I joined like a Web3 bootcamp slash course, which talks about this kind of stuff, and it's on my plate. Sorry, I didn't share last time, but I can share those videos. So the way, from what I know so far, the way it works is you never want to hold on to people's or users' private keys, because then that could be hacked at any time, right?
Mm,
Like any server is possible to hack. The way all these Web3 applications manage your private keys are the keys are stored on the device itself. So the server never
mm,
has access to that. And the way the private public key works is your private key, it can be used to generate any number of your public keys, right? There's a
mm,
private public pair, and you sign the message with your public key. And the public key is available to everybody. And the public key, what really is your wallet address or is your address, right? So for one private key, there could be one public address, and then also like they call it like accounts. I think I forget the exact terminology. Anyways, so a long story short, that's why you want there to be a mechanism on the device to generate the private key and send the public key. And if in case the private key is lost, there's a way to recover it, and the recovery phrase it generally is like a 12 letter. What I've been seeing in the convention interacting with different Web3 apps, it's like a 12 different like random English words, which they will
mm-hmm,
show you once, and you have to like either manually copy paste them somewhere or take a screenshot or write them somewhere. If you lose those, you're out of your account. There is no recovery mechanism, right?
mm.
So
Okay.
everything is local to the device, not on the server anywhere at all, especially the private, not at all. So and that's why I was saying like most of these applications uh, that do have like Web3 functionality go through MetaMask, because MetaMask is an established uh, how do I say this? If
Wallet.
Web3, it's not a wallet exactly, but it's established gateway to Web3, which
Mm,
is available as an extension, as a mobile app, etc. Again, local to the
mm,
device, and that's where
mm.
your private key is stored. And any Web3 application that you want to interact with, then you like if as long as it's operates on that protocol. So for example, for Ethereum and every blockchains that based on ERC20, it can you can have a private key for that, and that would be your entry point to
Okay.
all of that. And then for other
Okay.
types of blockchains, you can also have your keys there.
So
Long
basically,
story short, it's all local.
okay. So the reason I ask is because when you sign the transaction, um, you sign the transaction with the private key, and then um, the public key is used to you know to verify it.
Right.
Um, so when like and signing a transaction is something that happens, in or at least based on my research in the transaction class. So if you have a private key only locally, and basically the blockchain or basically the blockchain transaction object doesn't have access obviously it won't have access to your local device, right, to sign the transaction. That's something have they talked about, like exactly how the transaction signing happens
So
when someone makes it?
yes, so the way it happens is uh from what I've seen, like so far, like interacting with these Web3
Yeah.
applications, for my understanding, so you know how like you have on your iPhone, like anytime you need to sign in or anything, a face ID comes up, and then it does it, and then it will retrieve your stuff from the keychain and apply your
Yeah.
credentials there. Same thing
Hmm.
here. MetaMask comes in and you authenticate there, and that will sign that transaction for you. And I'm actually
Oh, okay.
just right now, and that's
Mm,
that's why I'm saying, like, if we go with our own solution, then we need to figure this piece out of how we want to do
mm,
it. Again, we might be able to just use MetaMask and for our own blockchain as well, but
mm.
you uh in the WhatsApp channel on how, like,
Yeah,
brief description of how like public and private keys work, and then also like how
yeah,
MetaMask.
yeah. I think that's a good that's something to keep in mind because currently um, we have a simple solution that may not necessarily be the best. We may have one integrate it's called MetaMask.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, yeah, we may have to integrate that to be able to sign transactions based on the best practices. Okay, that's very good. That's good info to know. These are some of the things that I've been thinking about when writing the blockchain because it's some of these things are not very straightforward, and having like it's good that you're taking this class, brother Omer, so you can share this insight with us that you did right now. So appreciate it.
Of course. And I think what we can do is I'll put together a list of different like blockchain concepts that would be good for the entire group here to know and understand. And
Yeah.
like I don't know all of them, but inshallah, like as I go through, maybe like we can dedicate a portion of this call to just go over those concepts and talk about that and understand those better. Ahead of time, what I'll do is I'll share some resources for those, uh,
Mm.
and then we can like ask questions and discuss amongst ourselves. It's called just a thought.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. It's a good idea. Yeah, so we can maybe arrange or plan some of the future calls just for that. Cool. Jazakallah khairan, Brother Umair. Brother Hamid, I know you have been, so Brother Hamid was able to run a single node, but he's when testing, he had trouble, running the second and third node. I just wanted to make sure, have you guys tried to run multiple nodes on your PC locally? Brother Ahmed or Brother Umair, or have you all only tried one?
I've had issues trying to get the second node going, and my fault, but I never followed up with you when I did share that with you a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so in that case, it seems like it's not specific to Brother Hamid. So after this call, Brother Hamid and I are gonna be troubleshooting his setup. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and run 3 nodes on my side locally, so you guys could see how I do it, and then you can just replicate what I did, inshallah. But it shouldn't be. I've never run into any issues. Even right now, I have. I'm not sharing the right screen, but I have 3 nodes running, one on each port. Let's see. Yeah, so these are the 3 nodes. This is running on port 8000, and in the back end, 8001 and 8002. So yeah, so inshallah we can do that after this call, because I don't want to make this call a troubleshooting call. I want to keep this call concise and for our updates. But I think as far as updates, that's pretty much. Brother Hamid, did you have any updates other than what I just mentioned?
No.
Okay, so yeah, so if that's the only comment you wanted to share with us, I think we can end this call and jump on the other call and troubleshoot these connections.
I have two, well, one, maybe two things I wanted to have a quick
Okay.
chat about, inshallah.
Okay.
The first was with using Slack. I remember seeing the message in the WhatsApp group, and I tried to access it, right? But it looked like it just took me to the main login, and there wasn't any group or room that I was associated with. So I didn't know if there was one already created. I forget who wanted to use this.
Yeah, I think Brother Omar, you created it. Can you share that link with us again? I may have shared the wrong link.
Yeah, no worries. I can just. That said, I think, Brother Ahmed, once you follow that link, if you don't have an account on Slack, like with your email and password, it will ask you to like sign up. Once you sign up, you'll be added to that org. So there's orgs, and then you can be part of multiple orgs with the same Slack credential. So have you ever had a Slack before?
No, and I try to log on or create that account through my Gmail, and then I get through that, and it says create an organization or something, and I X out of that, and it just closes
Oh,
closes
okay.
it
So
all
if
down.
yeah, you don't need to create one. It would say like find your workspace. There will be like create a workspace or find a workspace, and that's where
Okay.
you can just do that. But let me see, like, if I
Okay.
can just, while we're here, invite you to it. Can you please send your email on WhatsApp? I'll just send you an invite right now.
Yeah. About to send it. Okay, I just sent it.
Cool. I see it. Inshallah, let me send you an invite right now.
Yeah.
And while we're here, let me just also so the invite. Oh, I see what happened. It says like the invite link expires after 2 days. So I guess like people infinitely able to join. So I shared the invite link just now in the Slack channel as well for any brothers who want to join. But anyways, I've sent you an invite
Okay.
specifically to your email as well, brother.
Okay, shukran. And then the only other request I have, maybe I could have done it since I'm a member of the Al-Kalam group on GitHub, was adding Brother Hamid so he can, as a member, so that he can be assigned to issues or take anything on. I forget if
Oh, I
he's
see. Oh, you mean add Brother Hamid to the project
the
or
project,
to
or
the team member, to
Al-Kalam
the team? Yeah.
Institute. Yeah.
Okay. I see. You may be able to do it. Let me see. If not, I can do it real quick. Let me see. Settings.
Members, role. I don't know if I can.
Yeah, I think I may have to do it. Let's see.
Okay.
I think let's see, where is it? Yeah, I'll do this inshallah after this call. I can add Brother Hamid inshallah. Sounds good. Okay.
That's
Anything
all
else,
from me
Brother
then.
Ahmad? That's all.
That's all from me, shukran.
Okay. Barakallah fik. Brother Hamid or Brother Umair, do you guys have anything else to add?
I'm good, alhamdulillah.
No, I'm
That's
good.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, well, I'll see you, Brother Ahmed and Brother Hamid. I'm not sure if you guys are gonna remain on the call. But I'll go ahead and end the call. I'll end the recording and we'll remain on the call for the troubleshooting session. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. جزاكم الله خيرا.